What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, I've got another game against Fanny the fish. Not only that, but it's actually in version 114, and it's another large Conti, as you can see. And yeah, I wanted to see, is Elyrion still viable? So let's just get right into things. This game was unsurprisingly absolutely insane. So yeah, I get absolutely horrible riding ruin here. That's like one of the worst things ever. But you can see this opening. I only got a single polytar, and I did go for the poly push as well. I think that's the way to go with Elyrion now. Again, you can sometimes do like just you can do a warrior polytar opening, but I would only do that if you can expand in all directions or there's a really good ruin or something. If not, just do a single polytar opening. It's fine to cut down on expansion a bit just to ensure you get that economy going. And I've got good sinks. I get the polytar here so I can get one of these cities. It's not going to be right here because of the shoreline, but it's I guess it's not there either. It's going to be all the way here, isn't it? I thought it was there for some reason, but yeah, shoreline says otherwise. I get an explorer ruin, so okay, really bad, really bad ruins. But you know what? It is a Elyrion continent, so in theory they should be extremely overpowered and win anyway. I get the sanctuary here at least. I upgrade with lumber huts. I really wanted to get a sanctuary here, ideally from this city. Like, I can get this level 3 if I border growth. But I mean, I can't get the good sanctuary from the city. It's just too far away. And, you know, just, it's a nice level 4 sank. It looks beautiful. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's also not that insane because I still have level 3 here. I don't remember what I actually did in the game. I guess we'll see. I go for farming. Classic, really greedy Elyrion setup. That's what you see every Elyrion player on continents do. And yeah, tried and true. Because my ruin sucked, my economy is actually not that good on turn 10. And I'm already getting rushed, of course. Classic Fanny technique of completely rushing me. I'm not at all ready. But I did get the riding ruin earlier, so it could be worse. And I just go full defense. Because one thing with Elyrion, I think a lot of people kind of forget this with Elyrion, is you can get walls. You can get walls with Elyrion. Not only can you get walls, but you should be getting walls. There's a few reasons for this. You have more economy generally, so losing out on 5 stars is not nearly as big of a deal. You need to be playing defensively. I'd say especially with the nerfed Elyrion, polytars being more expensive, they're not very good at attacking anymore. I will just say that up front. They lose a ton of their attacking power. And they don't have super units. Well, they don't have traditional giants. They probably have some of the worst attacking power in the entire game. So going defense like this is a very good idea, typically. And especially since he really only has this city and this city to attack. And spoilers, I do get a wall here as well. It's significantly easier to defend. I also get a border growth here. And there's one other reason for the city wall. I won't mention it yet. Maybe you guys can figure it out. But there's another reason why walls are actually really good for Elyrion. And this is why. Eggs have fortify. Same with polytars as well, actually. But this is the only super unit in the game that has fortify. And normally, it's almost impossible to get eggs on the front line because they just get taken out so easily. This is still somewhat easy to take out. Eggs only have 2 defense, but it's an entire extra rider. And if they're not really concerned about trying to take the city because, you know, there's a wall there, then they might not even, you know, they might not be ready to take this at all. But it's a really nice way of just getting this without being punished because normally these frontline eggs are terrible. And yeah, I'm preparing on defense. And yeah, sure enough, you can't actually deal with the egg. And I just get away with it. I get roads. I'm going to bridge to this other continent. I siege here. He takes this away from me. I didn't even notice that I had the city, and this really sucks. Because I would have had a nice 6 cities on my continent, easy Grand Bazaar, and also I can place some bridges. But instead, this is another area for him to attack. And yep, it's also very easy to defend with the bridges. Yeah, my units are just getting absolutely demolished. I only have 2 kills, and I can imagine Fanny has like 6 or 7. I get climbing here, more vision, I see the mountain ruin. But yep, there's wall number 2. And you can see how minimalist I can be on defense because of these walls. If I see him throw a giant in, then I can prepare an actual defense, but I don't need to at the moment. I'm just going to have enough. Just, some units I have laying around. Border growth on the capital. Oh, I do actually place a sink there. Good. That's a good sink. And, yep, just upgrading. My economy's doing decent. Like, for turn 15, most tribes do start to get their markets by this point, so maybe part of this has to do with the slower expansion. But now, you see, yes, that's right, meditation philosophy. I'm only on 5 cities, so it's still pretty cheap to do that. And there's a lot of very good things with Mindbenders, with Elyrion in particular, and you're going to see all of those in effect. Because this is a super underrated tech in general, because Mindbenders are just, for some reason, insanely slept on. They're a good unit. Use them in more of your games, please. But for Elyrion especially, they might be like they're able to make use of Mindbenders better than any other tribe in the game. And this is really important to Illyrion's late game. I don't tend to play Elyrion late game much because people resign before it gets to that point. But you're gonna see, this game will go late. I have no way of winning, and I'm down in cities. Things are going to get kind of crazy. And Mindbenders are gonna be super important here. So I have a Mindbender just on defense for now. It's just useful. Now strategy. This kind of techs are going to be super important here because I actually didn't have a lot of techs before Philo, and I want a lot. I want archery, I want spiritualism, I want math, I want Shiv, I want nav, I want aquatism. I probably want diplomacy if I actually want to win the game. Construction looks pretty appealing. Trade is a consideration. Here's another border growth. This is setting up another sink spot. Explorer Ruin, which actually isn't too bad here. I could use the vision. And sure enough, I'm late to the water. But yeah, just swat that Juggernaut real quick. Probably not actually worth it, but I do it anyway. And I've got my first full-grown dragon. First of not actually that many, probably fewer than you'll think. But now I've got defenders here set up on these walls, pretty much unbreakable. Another border growth here. And looks like I am losing the naval battle, just straight up. And yes, I am. There is nothing I can do about it, but I do get a Mindbender here. And you can see, really the first big use case of Mindbenders, healing dragons. Healing giants is also a good use case in Mindbenders, but I think with dragons it's even better because putting a dragon, like you don't have to have your dragons in the front lines. You can retreat them easily and quickly and have a Mindbender healing station back there, and it'll get its value because you want to send your dragons up at some point. If you keep them in the back the whole time, then congratulations, you are completely wasting the most powerful unit in the game. You have to use your dragons. There's no way around it. And your dragon will take damage. That is an inevitability. It will take damage. And you'll have to send it back eventually to heal. And Mindbenders can make your dragons twice as effective because you can send them out twice as much because they heal twice as fast. So Mindbenders are essential. And you see I get a Aquatism here, mostly for the dragon defense boost, but also for the rammers as well. I've got another baby dragon ready to go. And I can actually take out one of the Juggernauts, which is good, because I'm going to be struggling on super units quite a bit. There's construction mining. I do that to get this border growth. And then I go for that. Now, I should have probably gotten a dragon here because I can get away with it. There's no way for this egg to actually be killed, at least from what I can see. So I probably should have tried for it. I don't here. There's a few reasons for that. But yeah, I also have this very sneaky Mindbender here, which Fanny does play around. And oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not really getting any naval dominance, but I get navigation. Navigation's going to be really nice here. And math. Math is for the catapults, actually, and not for sawmills. Very unexpected use of math. But, I mean, yeah, math has a unit there, and it's actually a pretty good unit. Catapults are kind of nice. Usually, you don't get math for the catapult, and here we see a wall right back. I'm not breaking through that anytime ever. But yeah, this Mindbender here, posted along, it's making things a lot easier. I get this spiritualism to boost my economy. And, you know, spiritualism's, it's pretty nice with Elyrion, because it actually helps your economy quite a bit. And yeah, my dragon gets hit, but it's not the end of the world, because again, I've got the Mindbenders. The bombers are in, this is, I'm just gonna like really emphasize here, there's not gonna be a whole lot going on the east. It's all about the west. I have a second dragon ready to go. I have this Mindbender heal. Archer goes pew. Another Mindbender ready. I'm expecting this one's probably not long for this world. But yeah, here's another one. I need to get more dragons too. While it's very good, it's not enough. I mean, you can see the amount of juggernauts I'm up against. And yeah, there goes the Mindbender. Yeah, this is rough. Yeesh. And you see he's not advancing his juggernauts to the shoreline. Why isn't he? Because I could convert it. If it's on the shoreline, that's correct. Because the other thing about Mindbenders with the Elyrion, and you can see, it's forcing Fanny to play around it, so even if I'm not actually getting away with any conversions, forcing him to play around it is huge here. But if you were to put this Juggernaut, say, right here, that seems like a great spot for it. Why didn't he do that? Instead he moved it away, actually. If he puts it there, then I can push this Mindbender up here, poly push, and I think it poly pushes right here, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, wherever it goes, it's going to convert their Juggernaut from several tiles away. This looks completely illegal, but yes, Mindbenders kind of become really scary with Elyrion. And if you want to be winning your games, expect things to get to late game a lot more often with Elyrion, and expect to be playing against an opponent with better eco because of markets. You need to take advantage of these if you want to get away with Elyrion these days. But I mean, this is still a rough position. I send the Mindbender here, though. It's going to heal my Catapult and this Dragon. And yeah, these Dragons are just going to get some really nice chip. I've got a Mindbender here, and the Catapult just bunkering down. I've got this Vet Sword here, which I believe I got from a Ruin. Well, I don't have Smithery, so of course I got it from a Ruin. But yeah, construction, getting value. I get another dragon. Again, it's walled, it's harder to kill. And I can take out this. I don't know if it was actually worth taking out the rammer. It wasn't that scary in the first place, but I do. More bombers. And yeah, these juggernauts are just gonna heal. And he's getting ready to get a bomber here. Unfortunately, this is a little tricky to play around because I would have to throw my dragon there to kill the bomber, which means I would lose my dragon. That's not a good trade for me. So I kind of just have to let him. He makes the bomber in advance, which doesn't actually make sense here, but that's what he does. He's got cloaks. I'm going to get cloaked. There's not any way to avoid that. So yeah. Chivalry. I'm getting knights, getting ready to get cloaked. And I'm hoping I need more dragons. This dragon, it feels like these are taking forever to get growing. And I can't really make a dragon here until they siege because I need to push if they siege. And if I make a dragon right now, it's just going to get obliterated. You know, that's not a good idea. But, you know, I also have this Mindbender in case I can push. But I'm trying to keep my backline healthy because this is how you Elyrion. This barely survives. Oh my goodness. And here is where Fanny gets a bit impatient, going all in. And this looks insane because it kind of is. I mean, this looks really hard to defend. I'll say that. How do I actually deal with this? So first off, how do I deal with this? I can push it, but here's the thing. Juggernaut went from here. I'm pretty sure. I can actually double check for you guys. Okay, so it went from this tile. Which means if you push it, where's it going to go? It's going to go right here. Because this push has happened in the opposite direction compared to where it's facing. Because it went from this direction, it's facing like right here. Or right here. One of these directions, I'm not totally sure. I think it's facing here. But either way, the opposite is going to be here. Can't push there. It would go counterclockwise first, so it's going to push here. But yeah, that's a little awkward. I don't have any Mindbender set up there. I can't poly push this one. I would have to poly push this one in a really weird way. Or just block this tile, which is what I actually do here. I get another bomber, bombs away, get a nice night chain. I blocked these mostly because I forgot to actually tell where the giant was coming from. And I also poly push. I destroy the port because I needed my defender to push here. If I kept the port, I would have had the defender would have pushed in the port. That would have been super sad. I could have like moved the catapult or the dragon there, but I don't want to do that. I want to put either of those units in danger. So get the mine, convert the giant. Have you ever seen an Elyrion giant? Yeah, it's an Elyrion giant. And I get this nice poly push here, just getting ready for the defense. If they siege here, then the plan is quite simple. Make a Polytar, move this defender up, make a Polytar. All these will be covered. I can cover this square with units, like these riders, and force the giant to be pushed here where I might bend it. These are the defenses you have to do with Elyrion. Personally, I think it's kind of funny, though. These are very, like, based in content worthy. I get a nice tree here. This actually doesn't do anything, but I get it anyway. I have a baby dragon, so I'm close to getting another adult dragon. The cloaks come in. I lose my Mindbender. All these get splashed, but again, they can get healed. Cloaks again. And he resigns. So this is a very weird point to resign. But I am going to win this in the long term. It's very hard to prove that I even have an advantage here in the first place, but I will win this. Really, just next turn, my plan is to heal these. I can already send this dragon right here, or I can send it right here, send this dragon here. Both of these Mindbenders will heal. I'm getting another dragon soon, and another one here. 4 dragons is going to be enough to win, and I even have an egg all the way down there. You can see it on my capital. And what's the city count? Well, I have 7. And Fanny has 12. 12 cities. But look at this. Look at his tech prices. He doesn't have Philo. I am about to get my Tower of Wisdom. That's how many techs I have. Philo absolutely carrying me. I also have this super unit here, so if you want to count that towards my super unit advantage, I just have a giant, which will also get healed to full pretty quickly. I can make Polytars every turn to make up for my city disadvantage. And while I am down in eco, thanks to the cloak invasions and my city disadvantage, and I don't have markets, like, eventually once I start to counterattack, things are going to fall apart, and Fanny's attack here has really died because he lost so many bombers. Once I start counterattacking, and also these bombers are alive, at some point I'm just going to defend, and that'll be that. There will be no more breakthroughs, and I'm going to attack. It will take a very long time to get to that point, maybe like 5 or 10 turns in this already pretty long game. But it will happen, and I will get more dragons, and he's going to run out of giants himself. These 2 giants are just dead. And, I mean, if you just look at what he's got to work with right now, yes, he can get more by getting, like, spiritualism and stuff, but that's super expensive. If he does that, then he's not pressuring me. I counterattack, I win. But he's basically got 3 juggernauts, no Mindbenders for quick healing. He's just going to be outnumbered in terms of super units. So, as crazy as it is, this is actually a kind of a fair point to resign. Even though the game looks like it's far from over, it's just too hard to actually break through here, and if you don't break through, you just lose. So yeah, Elyrion still has a absolutely cracked late game, but it's quite a bit harder to get to that point, and this is probably going to be Elyrion's best map, like large continents like this. But you really have to pull together some serious technique if you actually want to get things done. All to say, I think Elyrion will still be viable, but their viability will be noticeably less. I think they'll still be a good tribe, don't get me wrong. But if you actually want to get good results at them, you'll actually have to be really good at the game, which is a bit of a change of pace that I don't mind. But hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.